Hi, welcome to Rift Division Devlog 1. My name's Lucas and I'm the solo game developer responsible for creating this project. This devlog will showcase the development progress for my upcoming game called Rift Division. Rift Division is a first-person shooter domination survival game set on a British island along the mid-Atlantic ridge. This series of devlogs will showcase the progress and give the community a chance to provide valuable feedback to keep the development moving in the correct direction. In this episode, I will cover the background of the game design, and then finally a showcase of the progress made so far. For the past decade of my life, a significant portion of my time was dedicated to playing video games. It all began with my introduction to games like Minecraft and the Arma 2 DayZ mod, which ignited my fascination with the survival genre. Subsequently, after discovering more and more games that fall within this genre, my desire to create my own game grew. Countless hours invested in playing each of these games has allowed me to gain valuable insights into their respective strengths. My aspiration revolves around leveraging the knowledge acquired from these experiences to deliver a product of exceptional quality. Having played many games, around 8 years ago I made the decision to download the Unity game engine with the intention of crafting my own gaming experience. Initially, I lacked any coding background and struggled to create what I wanted to. However, through continuous learning and determination, I found myself constantly drawn to the concept of game development. As time elapsed, my priorities shifted and I gradually transitioned from being a player to being a creator, dedicating a significant portion of my time to game development. My game development direction was unclear until I entered university to pursue a degree in computer science. Throughout my academic journey, I invested a substantial portion of my free time into deepening my understanding of game development, particularly focusing on multiplayer game design. This involved delving into the underlying principles that ensure seamless gameplay experiences over the internet. Upon completing my university education, I took a significant step by finalising my own closed-source networking solution within the Unity engine. This solution was tailored for first-person shooters, granting precise control over the intricate mechanics of the netcode. The networking solution I have developed stands as the cornerstone of Rift Division, playing a major role in shaping the game's direction. Central to my vision is the emphasis on crafting every aspect of the game with a multiplayer player versus player focus. I'm driven by a resolute determination to avoid all the pitfalls of subpar hit registration and synchronization issues that can plague multiplayer experiences. Rift Division is a survival domination first-person shooter. This is different from a traditional survival game, as it comes with a strict goal of competing for sections of the map. There are two examples which I can use to explain the main premise of the game and the domination genre in general. The first one is the Battlefield franchise, more specifically Battlefield 1, as I'm not familiar with the other games in the series. Players are split into two teams and must take over points on the map by standing on each point, uncontested, for a set period of time to progress their team forwards. Each team earns more points the longer they control the sections. This forces players into the same part of the map, usually resulting in fast-paced, high-action gameplay. The second example is Planetside 2. Planetside 2 is an MMO FPS game where you choose a faction and you must compete for an open-world map in an attempt to control different sections. There are many sections on the continent and each is owned by one of the three factions. When you create an account, you choose one of these factions and then your account is locked to that faction and you must fight for them. The sections are captured in a similar way to how Battlefield does it. However, the game is not session based and goes on indefinitely, creating huge battles between players at a single part of the map that can go on for hours at a time. Rift Division's core mechanic will work similarly to these two games, allowing players to take different sections of the map. This mechanic is very compelling as it will ensure players are staying active in PvP and do not hide away for too long if they want to win. Each section of the map will have some advantages to being held. There are two types of sections, major sections and minor sections. A major section is a section that will contain a specific point of interest such as a looting location or a resource-rich area. These sections will be guarded by hostile NPCs and will be very difficult to take in the early game. Once captured, they will pose as a nice advantage for that player and or their team. A minor section will be a smaller section that will contain basic resources, but is still necessary to be captured and is more of a buffer zone for the major sections. These minor sections will be where players are encouraged to make their permanent base, and once their base is built, That section cannot be taken until it is the last section for that player and or their team. Alongside having to try and dominate the map, players will also have to manage the classic survival elements. There'll be dynamic weather, food, water, building, defending, looting, crafting and more. In Rift Division, if you die, you will lose all your items at the point of death and will have to reclaim them after respawning on the map. One problem that I would like to overcome, that I see a lot of games suffering from, is that large groups of players dominate the server. This will be discouraged in Rift Division by having a limited team size and a small total server population. The current plan is to have teams of up to 3 and a max server population of 24. AI companions will be able to be recruited to help provide an artificially higher player count without having large real player groups, making the game more fair for the average player. These AI companions will be able to defend sections for you, gather resources and fight. Each companion will have unique stats that will be different every time you play the game. Another focus for the project is to be able to create immersive environments that make the player feel like they're in the game world. Arma 2 DayZ has always given the best immersion in my opinion, and I always felt a strong tension whilst traversing the game world. I will aim to create a similar sort of tension in Rift Division, with a handcrafted open world map that will reflect a British island setting. Finally, another one of my favourite parts of the survival PvP genre is Wipe Day. This is the first day where all the players in the map have been reset, so everyone's back on a level playing field. During this time, players are competing furiously to get the best loot or best base spot. In Rift Division, I would like there to be the same amount of excitement in the early game. This sort of experience will be created through a strong progression system and well-crafted map. Players should have a strategy of how they can get a tactical advantage over all the other players on the server at the start. By combining all these mechanics and features, I believe I can make a very enjoyable survival game that has balanced, fair gameplay with a good amount of PvP, whilst also remaining as an immersive experience. I have been working on this project for quite a while now, and there's been a lot of progress towards the final goal. The following clips will be used to demonstrate some basic gameplay and display the general direction that the gameplay is moving. These examples are all subject to change, and some of them still need a lot of work, but hopefully this shows you what the finished product will be like. I'll showcase more features with every devlog instalment to ensure true transparency of the development process. I'd love to hear feedback on the current systems in place. If you think there's anything that could be improved, do let me know in the comments section. Rift Division is something I'm fully dedicated to for the long haul. Right now I'm putting all my available time into bringing this project to life, which is why your feedback means a lot. If you're curious about how things are shaping up, the easiest way to stay in the loop is by subscribing to this YouTube channel and turning the notification bell on for future updates. Right now I'm aiming to drop a new devlog around once a month, similar to what you're seeing here. Plus, I'll be diving into the detailed roadmap for Rift Division in one of the upcoming devlogs, so keep an eye out for that. I hope you enjoyed the devlog, and if you have any ideas on how I could improve the videos, do let me know in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next devlog.